Well, hello. Jimmy the Hammer here. What follows is a conversation that I had with Dan John, and in the beginning, we do discuss my thoughts of self harm. However, it's much more direct and blunt than in my other videos. So, warning to everybody, going to be very blunt about it. So, if you're offended by these things, don't watch it. Go about 8 minutes into the video. I haven't figured out the whole timestamp thing yet. So, anyway, enjoy the video. So I have with me today Dan John, which we've talked before, but we were next to each other. And I have to say, Dan, I really appreciated. I was at the dentist the other day, and I look at my phone and I see Dan John. I say, "Oh my God, did I pocket dial him? What's going on?"
Yeah. Was that the
The
reaching out
Ozempic.
about the your video?
Yeah, about the Ozempic video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was, hey, first off, I thought, Jimmy, aka Jimmy the Hammer, I
Hmm.
thought that the fact that you were so candid and honest about something, in the industry we live in, which I spend my time, there's no question in my mind that a lot of people I work with are, on anabolics and now, oh, excuse me, now
Hmm.
testosterone replacement therapy. Geez,
Right. Hmm.
because everybody on the planet Earth who's male or female, has, and again, I shouldn't poke fun because I know people actually need
Yep.
hormonal intervention to survive. But I mean, if you're doing hormonal intervention to, make money online, it's nice to that it was just your honesty and candidness. Honestly, I got to tell you, folks, you don't hear it.
Hmm.
I mean, I want to make a big deal. I should be candid here. I do take a baby aspirin every morning, and that is why those of you watching can tell that my arteries and veins are pumping so well. So
Yes.
yeah, I know I've disappointed a lot of the people, but that's the truth. But honestly,
I am crushed.
yeah,
Hmm.
I'm in this crazy place in my life where I'm watching, when I was younger and I was watching these older strength and power athletes kind of die off young, I used to be like, wow, you know, uh, go heavy, go hard, go home. I get it,
Hmm.
okay. But now, and more recently, there are people who are quite a bit younger than I am, and I just, I got a granddaughter showing up here in a couple of months, and I just had a granddaughter born in August. I got to tell you, folks, there's a lot more to life than your Instagram feed or whatever the hell it is. But
Hmm.
thank you, Jimmy. I was impressed, and I also like the fact that now, would you still say with your Ozempic trial, and we're just saying Ozempic because that's the
Yep.
name people know, right? Your honesty on that was canon, but you found it not very helpful for you, right?
Okay. So what I found actually I recorded an update which I have not edited.
Okay.
So I have come back off of it. So I tried it again, and the thoughts of self-harm had nothing to do, I figured it out, had nothing to do with Ozempic.
Okay.
Nothing to do. So the sleep aid that I take, one of the ingredients in it is GABA. I have a GABA, it's a neurotransmitter. I have a GABA deficiency in my brain, and it does help me think better. It regulates my mood and everything. But when I
Hmm.
spoke to my psychiatrist, she looked at the ingredients and, oh, this is great. Just be careful. Don't take more than 750 milligrams of GABA because that can cause depressive symptoms. Now, I didn't think of that. I wasn't thinking about that.
Okay.
But this last time on Ozempic. So what Ozempic is doing to me, the insomnia was actually an emotional issue. There was something going on and that was keeping me awake. I think that kind of the two things together. What it does to me is it raises my resting heart rate when I'm asleep. So it goes from my resting heart rate at night is normally 59 to 60 beats a minute. And when I get on Ozempic, it goes up to like 64. So with my Aura Ring, my it's decreasing my resilience score. So it means I'm more and more liable to get sick,
Okay.
I guess. And so it did it again. So it's like my resilience score was crashing, but one of the days to help me to stay asleep because of the other thing that was going.
I can still hear you. Keep going.
I know, yeah, but you're not gonna be able to see me. Hang on a
This might
second.
be an advantage. You lucky people.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know. I 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 know. Click, click, click. That's at least it's not very far away. So, and what was happening? So one of the nights when I was on Ozempic before, what was happening was I was taking double the dose of my sleep aid to get me to go to sleep and stay asleep, which it worked. The problem is like basically every day, about once or twice a day, I'd want to put a gun in my mouth and blow my brains out. Okay.
That's not good.
So that thought like went through my head like very clear. Whether that will stay in or whether it won't, I don't know. But and so this last time I woke up in the middle of the night. I was like, oh, up for like 2 hours, couldn't get to sleep. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take some more of it. I had taken the recommended dose. I'm going to take some more of it. So I took 3 caps. So I took double the dose, went to sleep, and that whole next day, same thoughts,
Hmm.
and I felt like I'd been hit by a truck. I mean, it just like anybody that talks about how you feel when you're depressed just feels like there's a weight on you and you don't want to do anything and it's hard to move was exactly how I felt. And then something in my head went bing. That's what it is.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. So it's the GABA. So if you overdose on GABA, and so I just posted a couple of shorts that said, "Hey guys, this is a great supplement, but the directions say take three. Take three."
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I like for sleep aids, I always like to make sure I use, well, I guess I don't have a bottle. Usually I have a bottle behind me, but
Mhm.
I always like to make sure I take magnesium in my sleep
Yep.
aids. And the
Yep.
reason is if you take too many, you have direct feedback the next day with,
Mhm.
let's just say, loose bowels, and
Yes. Mhm.
it
Yeah.
will remind you that, oh, you can't double the.
Yeah.
Thank you, and I'm glad you were able to deal with that because
Yeah.
I honestly, when you were talking, this will sound strange, but it bothered me when you were
Yeah.
talking about the suicide and the depression and stuff.
Mhm.
And I don't we don't need a disclaimer or anything, but
Right.
to hear you say that really hit me you know
Well, thank
bothered
you.
me to hear that. Yeah,
Thank you. I have suffered with it forever.
yeah.
So I had gone to a psychiatrist, had my brain scan, had a SPECT scan and all that
Mm,
other. They were able to explain everything that was going on and my
yeah.
history and everything like that. So they said, GABA is a good thing to take. Omega-3 fatty acid, omega-3 fish oil. It's a good thing to
Mm,
take for brain function. And it absolutely helps. And I didn't realize, I mean, it's nice to know. It's like, okay, I'm not going to okay, what the Ozempic does do is it does blunt the cravings for sugar
okay.
and highly processed food. I did like the point that you made in your message, which was, basically everything's processed. Everything's processed. Hamburgers processed. I don't think there's any food at all that is not processed in
Yeah.
some fashion.
Yeah, like I always say,
Yeah,
yeah, you win if you just eat apples off a tree. That's great. But
yeah,
if you go and pull a trout out and cook it,
you
you
processed it.
process it.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
don't know.
No,
We
no,
don't know what we're actually talking about. If
right.
you don't mind, Jimmy, I was listening to some people say that the same argument, and I thought, yeah, that's true. We all get it. But my my grandchildren last weekend, just a week ago today, we were at the mall and they got French fries at this place, and a regular cup of French fries is 1,000 calories.
Yeah,
Now, I don't know how many apples is 1,000 calories, but I guarantee most of our listeners couldn't pull that trick off,
yeah.
eating 1,000 calories of apples off a tree. I mean, they could, but again, the next day will be a reminder of why you don't do that very often. Yeah.
Well, I know there's a test that this one scientist did. She would be teaching a class and say there'd be a glass of orange juice. She'd call two students up.
Ah,
One has this glass of orange juice, and the other one has, I think, like it's either
six
it's
or seven orange
six
juice. Yeah.
oranges, 6 oranges, and next to the person with the 6 oranges is a bucket. So, and it says to the first person, can drink the orange juice. Okay. Can you have another one? Yes. And then she says to the other person, eat all of the oranges. They said they normally get to four and then they throw up.
Oh, oh,
So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, and then you don't want to eat for like 2 days.
yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's the same, it's the equivalent. They're exactly the equivalent. It's the same amount of juice, 6 oranges and one 8-ounce glass of orange juice. I'm going to do this. As cool as that video is, I'm going to do that.
Okay. Just as long, again, as long as we can just keep, keep
Yep.
the,
Yep. Keep the flow going. Sorry, folks. I really like high def video.